Today I'm going to show you how to make a succulent bowl. I'm not going to use any cactus today, but if I was, I would definitely be wearing these. And the other tip to do if you're going to use cactus, like this bad boy here, which is a little baby golden barrel cactus, is not only wear gloves, but actually handle the cactus using some polystyrene. Yes, that's right. You kind of use them like paddles, like this, with your hands on either side, and then lift it like that. That way you definitely don't get, well, bitten by this, you know what. All right, so back to the succulent bowl here. There's so many different types of succulents. Basically, a succulent is a plant that holds its moisture in its leaves, and they're often thick and fleshy like this one here. They come in a range of shapes and sizes and colours and can often look as beautiful as flowers. Like this particular one is an echeveria, and it's one called Pearl, and you can see it's got these gorgeous peach and plum tones, and also what's known as a bloom, which is like this grey powder all over it. So there's so many different types of succulents. I've selected ones that are all in a sort of a colour theme of pinks and greys and grape colours. So I've got this echeveria and another lovely echeveria here called Violet Queen. Another one here, and you can see this one's already getting pups, which are the ones at the side coming up. You can actually propagate from those little pups, or I can keep it together as a whole like this. I'm also going to be using some different types of pig face. This one's called Oscularia, and then I've got a Mesembryanthemum here, and they both get lovely pink and purple flowers. And I've got this little Mesembryanthemum here, which has got a lovely pale pink flower. And I'm using some sedums. This one is a sedum that's variegated, and you can see it's got this lovely apricot soft tone and a cascading habit, so I'll put that one towards the front. And I've got this purple sedum, and also another lovely sedum called Seboldii, which gets a beautiful spray of pink flowers and suckering habit, so we'll get more and more of these grey lovely leaves coming up. All right, so I'm often reminded that succulents almost have an oceanic sort of sea-like effect to them, even though they grow in really dry conditions. So I'm using this bowl here, which has got drainage holes, which is essential, but it also has almost a crusty coral effect on it. And if you don't have a bowl with drainage holes, you can do what we did here, and that is actually just get a ceramic bit and drill some in. So we've drilled 3 holes into this bowl, which can also be used as a water bowl. That's why it doesn't have holes already pre-drilled. All right, so a good layer of potting mix, and this is special potting mix. This is called cactus and succulent mix, and you can see it's got a really loose, open, friable texture with lots of grit and sand and little pebbles and things in it, so that it doesn't hold too much more moisture and it free drains. So when I've got a little bit in there, about half full normally, start with the biggest pots that have got most potting mix in it, and again, just loosen them lightly. I like to do this for a few reasons. Every now and again you get the odd weed, and they're tricky to remove once you've planted them, but they're easy as you're potting to get rid of any tiny little weeds that are growing. So gently loosen that, and work out your positioning while you've got them sort of in this sort of state. So, all right. So, as I said, this is aloe. Let me introduce you. Hello. It's not Vera. It's not the medicinal one, but it is does have beautiful sort of pinky coral flowers that will come up in late winter and spring. Now I'm going to put some of these ground cover ones towards the front of the pot. There we go. And tuck them all the way in. And this little sedum all the way in. I love this one. It's got a real sort of apricot peachy bloom to it. And in fact, a lot of succulents get a beautiful winter foliage. All the purples and greys and reds seem to intensify as the weather gets cooler. And if any leaves break off, the other cool thing about succulents is that they grow again from a leaf. It's called a leaf cutting, and you just set that leaf aside and it'll develop a tiny little rosette at the end, a bit like African violets if you've ever seen them grow from leaf cuttings, and then you can replant that and get another plant. And you don't have to start with plants that are as big as this. You can use smaller plants, or you can even use leaf cuttings. And then just backfill around. Pressing down, firming in around their roots. A bit like tucking them into bed. Now, last but not least, any bare areas you can cover up with some pebbles. And because they remind me so much of the sea, I'm also going to pop in a few shells for mulch as well. And it's ready. As I said, don't water it straight away. Wait about a week to 2 weeks so any of those bruised roots can callus over, and then give it a good drink. And that's your succulent bowl. Look how gorgeous they look.